Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. Hi, Sister Ellie here from Ellie Productions, and I'm producing myself. I'm calling this event Multiple Selves. Growing up, I'd like to have all different types of selves. Sometimes I'd have an afro self, sometimes I'd have a straight-haired self, sometimes I'd have doo-doo plaits. It was just like all different selves. I remember people saying to me, that's what I really like about you, that you just like can be multiple selves. So I thought, okay, it's good. It's just like something what I do. But I think we all do it in a certain way. And I just think it's good to bring out our multiple selves. I'd like to give a rise up for my t-shirt. Thank you very much. And we've got one of our powers there, one of our power women. And I thought I'd have this style to rise up Martha and the Vandellas. They were just like such a great music presentation in the 60s. Do you like the 60s? Okay, I'd like to welcome a new king into our family, and he was born in the month of March, and in the Rastafarian calendar the month of March is Benjamin. In one of my previous videos that I did, I talked about my son who'd passed away, and his name was Benjamin. Coincidence? Maybe. And then he was born on a Thursday, which in the Ghanaian culture is Yao, and my husband was Nana Yao, who was Benjamin's father. Here's the two of them here. In early days, God rest both of their souls. And so it was two coincidences now that Nana Yao and Benjamin have returned, and we give thanks for that. So being unwell, it's just taken me ages, literally, to get ready, even to do this video. Painkillers, breathing, just trying to keep stable with the pain and knowing that this too shall pass, as they say. And I'm really glad that scientific work, looking into my blood, looking into what's happening, is on the agenda, and I have a few tests this week so we can get some more scientific evidence of what's happening with my genes, my cells, and the whole sickle information. And my children were saying to me, but you make like having sickle look so easy. And I just thought, how can that be? But I do see what they mean, because I will take time and get ready. It might take hours, literally, to get myself together, but that's just how it is. And so I will take time to do that, to present my best self of my multiple selves. And so it's not that I make illness look so easy, it's just that I've lived with sickle for such a long time, and I've had bad waves before, and hopefully ridden them waves, and I hope to ride this wave also. Yeah, and so I just think that scientists and mathematicians are greatly needed within our society. I think that it's really great to have our spiritual side and our spiritual essence, and we must equate them and have a balancing format within our life patterns or within our life journey, so we can listen to mathematicians and scientists when they're aiming to tell us something about life and the greater life around us, and we can listen to our God intuition for our daily lives and also for decisions making in life. That's for those people who believe in God or universe or any form of outside influence. Some people I know don't have that vibration, so everybody's got their own piece of cake. I think there's something obviously much larger than myself, and also can be directing me to much larger aims and goals. And so I think it's about weighing things up in lives and having multiple influences to make a decision, or life-changing decisions. I just think the more information we have, some people will say that might be leaning on your own understanding, but not really, because you're getting answers from various societies, various groups in societies, doctors, GPs, scientists, mathematicians, people who've worked out calculations and formulas and came to certain conclusions. So it would be good to have more of that, I think, within our society. and how we define wellness. How do we define wellness in our society? Is it because we look well? Like my children said, I make illness look so easy. How? If anyone could ever feel like my pains that I feel in my joints, especially my knees, my hips, sometimes it can be literally unbearable. However, we get on with life and we find ways forward the best we can. So to define wellness can be seen as a difficult task, and also, especially if we're using it in practices for law or in practices for working conditions, things like that, that's going to affect people in their everyday lives, working conditions. Maybe I can only work half the amount of time that you work because I have half the amount of oxygen, but we're all in this same world. And so it would make much more sense physically and scientifically that people who have half the amount of oxygen must be able to do half the amount. It's not that we're doing half the amount, maybe physically, but mentally we'd be doing 100%, if you can get what I mean. So we could have jobs maybe in the area of being authors, or in being with newspapers, reporting news, such areas like that. There's many areas that could open up, and if working practices were changed to include people with disabilities like myself, or hidden disabilities that you cannot see but I can physically feel, and you can scientifically evaluate that feeling to bring it into real life, then I think that we should do that, which is why mathematicians and scientists are more encouraged in my eyes, and it would be great development for the future. Okay. And what else was I thinking about? I was thinking about the rituals that I do before I even sit down to do this. I say my prayers, I speak to the universe, I clean my aura, I clean the space in where I'm going to sit. All these rituals that I do just so I can feel at ease. Take my painkillers. But it's so worth it to be able to share myself and my information and my multiple selves. And at this particular time, it's just great to have this outlet into the universe, into the greater community that I cannot physically attend at this specific time. So I wanted to read a little bit from my book, Nubian Minds, about rituals. Not like it's some sort of like, oh, up in the air, some sort of terrible thing that we shouldn't be thinking about. We do rituals every day. We get up, we brush our teeth, and we go to work. There's a ritual right there for you. Okay, so I'm reading from Nubian Minds. It's my book taken from my BA, from my MA in Applied Psychoanalytic Theory. And I've reading a bit from an author called Maladona Some. Now, Maladona Some was born to a tribe in West Africa, and he was initiated in the ancestral traditions of this West African society. And he was born into the Dogara tribe. That was the Dogara tribe of West Africa. Okay, so he was initiated in the ancestral traditions of this West African society, and is a medicine man and a diviner in his native culture. He holds 3 master's degrees and 2 PhDs. His credibility shows he has great understandings of both worlds, hence widening both perspectives on what is called mental illness. Some believes all men are born with a spirit. This part of the person not only communicates with God, but with other spirits in the spirit realm. In his hometown, rituals are seen as an important link between the natural and the spiritual worlds. Ritual is inevitable and necessary if one is to live. The young ones are the future of the old ones. To allow this future to happen, the old ones must work with the other world. Where ritual is absent, the young ones are restless and violent. There are no real elders, and the grown-ups are bewildered. That is a bit taken from Maladona Some's book. Which book did I use? Let me see. Okay, sorry about this. 1 second. Okay, Okay, it was called Ritual Power Healing and Community. So Maladon Some, as I've just stated, is somebody with PhD degrees on a Western front, and then he's also been initiated as a medicine man in his own society. So he has supposedly the best of both worlds, should I say, in looking at spirit and in looking at physical form of how we live. So I just need a quick drink, water. And so so this is where we can use spirit and science together, and this is where we can develop our multiple selves and grow in that tradition and move forward in that way. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you found some of that information useful, and don't forget to support the books. Nubian Minds and Curious Minds. Thank you very much for your time. Pray that you will all have a good day, good evening, and a good night. Thank you very much for listening.